Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and here we are with a device that helps us to measure the power consumption of our home so that we can, at the end of the month, hopefully save a little bit on our electric bill and so on and so forth. And we are going to review it, of course, but before we do, don't forget to check the link down below for the sponsor of this video, which is PureVPN, one of the fastest VPN services that I've used so far at an affordable price. And if you are watching the video right now, because we are almost on the Black Friday, you have a crazy promotion on PureVPN site. I will leave the link down below. As I said, you can see some images right over there. You still have 9 days. If you missed this video on the time that I've recorded, then hopefully there will be a few more promotions and you can get that deal, which is a great deal. Now, moving on, guys, here we are with the Efergy. Before I forget, this is the model HH2.0, and starting with the package content, which is everything that I've got right over here. Really simple. We will find a clip so that we can connect it on our circuit board, and we will find also a transmitter which is powered by 3 batteries, and then we also have the receiver and an Ethernet cable and a power adapter which we'll use to power the receiver, which is this little thing right over here. One of the things that I don't have on my notes is that the Wi-Fi connectivity between the transmitter and the receiver is actually better than I was expecting. I was a bit concerned about that. I've got my circuit board about 10 meters or so away from here with a few walls on the middle, and they work just fine. I do believe that I could go a few meters more and they would work just fine. So this is a great point. Here I've got no complaints at all. In terms of the installation, really easy. I'm not an electrician guy, and you guys know that, but it's really basic. All we need to do is to find our phase cable and then just use this clip. Don't forget to switch everything off just to be cautious. I did that, switch everything off, and then use the clip around my phase cable and then connect this clip to the transmitter, power on the receiver, connect it to the Ethernet, and then just go to the Efergy website and we'll have all the steps right over there. There are a few tutorials online as well from Efergy which will guide you through the process. But guys, it's really easy. The installation was very pleasant. I was surprised and I was really happy that it went everything really well with no problems at all. Now, going to a few things that I didn't enjoy so much, and starting with the software. I do believe that they have a great solution right over here in terms of hardware, although it's not perfect, as we will see, but the software is one of the most limiting factors, in my opinion, of course. In terms of the software that we can use on our computer, it's actually a browser, to be more precise. We will get in and we will have a dashboard. We will see the power consumption at the moment. We will see the power consumption per day, per hour. And one of the things that I would like to say is that if I want, for example, a report for 10 days, let's say that I want to know what I've spent from day 5 to day 15, I will have to count day per day with my calculator, because the report will only allow me to export a monthly report. And that's really bad because, for example, in my particular case, and I do believe that many of you, our electricity provider has a bill that will not go from day 1 to day 30 on every single month. It will go from 15 until 16 or 22 until 21 and things like that. So it would be really great to have some flexibility right over here in terms of the report, so that we could accurately measure this with our provider in an easier way. We can do measure, I did measure it for the past 11 days, but it's not as friendly as I believe that they could do that. Now, one other thing is that we also have an app for our phones, iOS and Android, and it's pretty much the same thing that we have on our browser, but intended for the phone. In my opinion, the only thing that I see useful in this particular app for the phone is the instantaneous power consumption of the house, and that's the only thing that I use. Everything else is made for a browser. It will not work very well on a phone, so it's a bit useless in my opinion, and that's about it. I'm sure that you've already seen some images right over there. You can imagine that it's not easy to work with that kind of app. Even the graphics are not designed to be user-friendly in terms of a phone or a tablet. So the software, I do believe that they could improve a lot to have a better experience. And then lastly, guys, the accuracy. And here it's one huge problem depending on the configuration. And let me start by saying that where I live in Portugal, we have 220 volts on our current power grid, and this is one of the settings that this kind of device, not only this one but all of them, they will not measure the volts, they will only measure the power that goes through this counter right over here. And this means that depending on the device, we will have some fluctuations between the real and the value that this device captures. So one of the tests that we can do is with one of these devices that will measure the device. And what happens is that, at least on my tests, devices that consume a lot of power, the Efergy hub will not be accurate. For example, a toaster, it will measure roughly half of the power that it's consuming, which is not good. And depending on the device, it will be more accurate or not. And on the test that I did, one of the things that I did change was the voltage power, and that has an impact. So if any of you guys have already one of these kits and you are wondering why you have wrong values, then try to change the value of your voltage, which will improve the accuracy. Will not get perfect, but will improve a little bit. And the graphics that I'm going to show you guys have attention to the values, because I placed the date that I measured, I also placed the voltage and then the real measurement against the Efergy measurement, and of course lastly the difference between the two. And you guys will see that I did measure on the 10th and then on the 11th, always at the same time, 8 o'clock in the morning, and then on the 12th, 13th, 14th, usually with 24 hours difference. And then on the 16th, I left 2 days right over there, and then on the 17th, and then on the 20th, so 3 days interval, always changing the voltage, or almost always, because I stayed on the 420 volts and went up to the 21st of November. And overall we can see an improvement in when we put the voltage on the settings to a higher value than what we are using. We will see the accuracy increasing, but it's still not there. So I had results that will go from a 30% of accuracy, which is really bad and it's not acceptable, to a accuracy of 80% roughly, which is, in my opinion, acceptable. Could be better, but I do believe that it's acceptable, so that we can have an idea of what we are spending overall on our house, on especially on devices that we cannot plug into this kind of device. Like for example, on my swimming pool, we've got a pump which is connecting directly to the grid, so I have no way to connect one of these devices to measure the power consumption that it has. Of course, that I'm not measuring the real power with this one, because it's just an estimate, but an 80% estimate, in my opinion, it's not bad at all. And that is it, guys. This is my feedback about this device. It's not exactly what I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit better of experience. I will try to find another solutions, and I will give you guys more feedback regarding this kind of technology, accuracy, and of course at the end of the day, which one I did prefer and which one will stay right over here, so that I can measure and I can save on the electric power on the planet, and of course also to help me to decide to put a solar system on the roof to help to maintain the costs down. And that is it. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you still have any questions, don't forget to leave them down below in the comment section. I will answer as fast and as best as I can. My name is Roberto George, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.